how important are optimal posting times? This is a question we've received over and over again. We did put out some content on YouTube for free for people to get kind of the gist of where we stand. 2 different perspectives were offered because there are so many perspectives. Here's the best time to post, or here's how you find a better time to post. There is no good time to post, and here's why it doesn't matter that much. So I think our bias was pretty clear that we don't think there should be that much emphasis placed on timing, and that's definitely not the most important thing for you to consider. So if that was helpful enough and you need to stop this video, I would encourage you to do so, because I don't want you to waste your time too much on scheduling and what time to schedule or what time to post. But that being said, I'm going to jump over to my screen and I'm going to show you what some expert companies who deal with scheduling, they deal with social media all the time, they literally run scheduling apps for people to schedule. They've done this research and they have some interesting perspectives to share. So I'll start with that, in case that's helpful enough for you, and then I'll kind of go into some more of the details about how you can find your own best times to post and maybe why it doesn't even matter. So on my screen here, I have 4 different experts companies that I'm gonna walk you through what they say first. HubSpot, Later, Sprout Social, and Hootsuite. I would recommend any of those companies, any of their articles, if you're looking for social media advice. So if there's something you come across and you see HubSpot or you see Later or Sprout Social or Hootsuite, stamp of approval. At least for right now. You can tell me why not if you don't agree. But when it comes to them talking about the best time to post on social media, they are not aligned. And I want to show you that because I can say over and over again, like, oh, there's so many different perspectives on when to post. But when you see the biggest companies in the industry all saying something different, it really solidifies it. And this might be a good time to point out, one of the things I mentioned in the YouTube videos on this subject is that Adam Mosseri, the lead guy at Instagram, he came out in a video and said, it doesn't matter really. He was really saying like, it's good to do it early in the day. That was something that he mentioned, but you really have to know your target audience. You gotta know who you're posting for. And we're gonna dive into that. But first, let's show you what these wonderful experts have to say. This is HubSpot, and this article is best times to post on social media in 2023. New data. According to our 2022 survey of 1,000 plus marketers, the best time to post on social media across all industries and platforms, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. The best day to post is Friday. Okay, so we're already conflicting here with Adam, who is like the Instagram guy, right? Who is telling us, it's good to do it early in the day, but there's really no optimal time. Great. So you can kind of check out these articles if you'd like. You can see that they're saying the worst times to post are basically early in the morning and late at night, which you might see that reflected in your analytics. It goes into each different platform here. But overall, we're hearing 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Best day to post is Friday. Okay, great. Good start, right? So that's what? Dinner time, late lunch time, Friday. Okay, let's see what Later says. Later.com, which is one of the scheduling platforms that we use and that we have a video on later. They're saying 4 a.m. calculated in local time across time zones. And they analyze over 11 million global image, video, carousel, Instagram posts. That's a lot. Best time to post on Instagram, Monday. Okay, and if you scroll down, you can see them kind of dive into the best time to post on each day and by location. But ultimately, they're really heavy hitting in the morning, which is not what HubSpot told us. All right, let's go to Sprout Social. So we're on Sprout Social. Highest times of engagement were Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. None of those were Fridays. Great. And they're saying morning, but not 4 a.m. morning. They're saying 9 or 10 a.m. Midweek mornings proved to be a successful time across most platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. And look, they say overall social media best times to post, not Fridays, not 4 a.m., not evening, not Fridays, worst day to post Sundays. Okay. They have their own data. You can scroll through that if you are interested, but let's give one more chance to Hootsuite and see the best time to post on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 10 a.m. Okay, we're kind of getting maybe a little bit of a consensus that like 9 or 10. That's the first time something's overlapped here, right? But we're still seeing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and no Fridays are listed here. So that's just a good intro to you that everybody's got their own perspective. even the people that research this stuff are getting different answers. And so maybe that could take some stress off your mind and take a burden off of you that there really isn't an exact formula to this. And even the people that do this all the time are kind of getting different answers. So I want to start with YouTube before I jump over to Facebook, and Meta gives you kind of an insight into Instagram too. Although on the app and Instagram, I think it's fairly easy to see your insights, and we can certainly make a video specific to that if you can't find it, so let us know. But let me start here with YouTube. This is our YouTube channel. So if you come over here on the top right, you click on your logo and you click on YouTube Studio, that's going to take you into where you can see some more analytics. In fact, on the left, you want to go to analytics. Click on analytics, and then up here, click audience. So because we have not been active on YouTube lately, unfortunately, YouTube does not have enough data to show you our analytics of when the best time is to post. So unfortunately, we can't show that to you. And even we use the free Chrome extension TubeBuddy on occasion, and they don't have enough data to show us anything. So know that TubeBuddy and vidIQ, we also have that running up here. Those are great free extensions that you can pay to upgrade them if you want more insights into this sort of thing, if you are posting on YouTube actively. But this is what you'll see, and I don't use recur posts. I don't know who they are. I literally just Googled YouTube best time to post just to show you this image, because this is probably what you'll see. And I'm thinking that they are not in the same country as their viewers. They're the people that are watching their videos, because you can see the darker purple is when more people are watching and more people are active, and so their darker times are more like middle of the night, which I think if you're doing this, you're probably going to see that your darker times are maybe in the morning or in the early evening, that sort of time, maybe even like 9 p.m. as people are winding down for bed. They're watching your content more. Maybe it's more in the morning, depending on who your audience is. It all depends. The point is that these lighter sections are when your YouTube audience is less engaged online, and so maybe you don't want to be posting right here where nobody tends to be watching your channel, nobody tends to be online. And this isn't just your subscribers, this is also people that are watching your videos and might be interested in watching your content. This is your audience. And so pay attention to your audience and consider when they are most online. Now, if you watch our YouTube videos, you know that we don't necessarily say you have to like pick the darkest line. As you can see, there's a couple dark lines in a row. We would recommend, and this is based on expert advice, kind of shooting towards the beginning of the darker section, and this is each day, so each line is a day. So let's look at Thursday, because there's a lot of variability there. So maybe, and again, your audience probably won't start being active at 9 p.m., but let's just for this example say they are. I might not post, at 12 a.m. or even 10 p.m. because I might want to be posting more around 4 or 5, because I know more and more people are going to start going online later and later, over the next few hours. You can also shoot for 8 o'clock, knowing that it is going to be when your audience is most engaged, but it's right at the beginning of that time period, and that's great too. But I think it's also wonderful to shoot a couple hours before, because it gives your algorithm some time, it gives your video some time to grow some traction as people see it. If it's good quality and they engage with it, it's just going to pick up more and more as more of your audience comes online. So these are things to consider as you're planning when to post, but you ultimately need to know when your audience is online. And I have to say it, I said it in all of the videos, and I'm going to say it in this one, that ultimately quality is going to matter more than time. More than what time you post. If you post the worst video, like you're not even looking at the camera, I don't know, it's just a bad video, and you post it right when your audience is most engaged, even if you magically knew like there was only one of these time slots throughout the entire week that they were going to be all online at once, and you picked it, but it was an awful video, it's not going to get the engagement, the traction, it's not going to help people the way you want it to. Likewise, if you post the best video in the world that is the most helpful for your audience, but for some reason you don't have any scheduling capabilities and you only can post it at this time when nobody's online, it will find its way to people. People are going to see it eventually, and they're going to engage, and if they share it, they comment, they tell people about it, it's going to make its way to other people. So keep that in mind. I want to point out this video on our channel to you because it is a video we made 2 years ago, and yet just a couple months ago it was one of the fastest growing videos on our channel. Like, it it blew up, and it was way later that it blew up. And that's because this video is a searchable video, okay? YouTube, I know you think of it as a social media channel platform, but it is a search engine. And so when people are searching how to set up a Facebook page, they are finding my video. Now, this is certainly not like the best views ever on this video. There are better videos out there. And honestly, I just kind of made this video because it was helpful for someone at the time and did not think much about production level of it. And so it's still getting a lot of views. It's not our most viewed video, but 2 years later, it's amazing how it continues to help people. I tell that to you because in this video about choosing the optimal posting time, you need to remember that you're not just posting for now. You're creating quality content for 2 years later, for months, weeks later. And there are different ways for you as a faith community or nonprofit to make your content searchable. You got to think about this. You got to figure it out. Ask us questions if you need help, but you need to consider it's not all about timing. It's also about searchability. Jumping back to our Facebook page, this is our Digivangelism Facebook page, not a Facebook profile. If you're confused about those, check the hub for videos that will help you out. But I want you to go into your Meta Business Suite, which is on the left-hand side. If you are an admin of your page, you click on that. I'm jumping over here, and you want to click on content. I'm jumping already in content. I'm on posts and reels. So as you can see here, we've got some published content on both our Facebook with the F and the Instagram account that we have connected to Digi. And these are all published posts, so they've already been out there. And for many of them, you can see the reach that they're getting. And this could be a good indication of maybe best posting times. Is it perfect? Not at all. Do I think it's necessarily, a way to dictate your life? No, but if you're curious and you want to look, check out your reach, check out your engagement, see what stands out. So we see, okay, 241, that's, decent amount compared to some of these others around it. Oh, 309, okay, so that's 9 a.m. morning time. Just keep scrolling down. Oh, this has 70 engagements. Oh, that's also 9 a.m. Interesting. I think that's the same post on Instagram and Facebook. Let's see if that pattern continues. 269, 10:50 a.m. That one was a Friday. This is a Monday, but it's 9:30 a.m. 12:37 p.m. 8 o'clock a.m. That's kind of when I tend to schedule anyway. 7 a.m. But this one, okay, this one's like the best one so far, right? This is a reel, and it was posted on a Tuesday at 5 p.m. So maybe that tells me that content was really engaging for folks, and it's not necessarily that it wasn't posted in the morning. 8:30 p.m. I don't even know what I was doing at 8:30 p.m. to post this, but look at that. 435 accounts reached. That's pretty big. Now I don't need to keep scrolling. You kind of get the gist, right? You can figure out timing and whether there's a pattern by looking in these insights, which are held in the content section of your Meta Business Suite. Back on your Facebook page for your community, you can go into insights and you can go into audience, and you can hope that your cities actually show up, unlike mine. But they were earlier, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But one thing to consider with cities and where your audience is located is that your audience might not be located where you are located. So consider that when you're considering the best time to post for you. If all of your audience is in Pacific time zone, but you're in Eastern time zone, do you need to make some adjustments to post when you feel like they're going to be more awake or active on social media? Another thing to consider is the lifestyle of your target audience. Who are your people? Like, spend some time thinking about who you're trying to reach. It's not just about the data behind these platforms, but really, are these young people? Are they older people? What do these people do during the day? When do they spend their time on social media? Think about these things when you're trying to plan out the best time to post. Shoot for maybe a little before or right at the beginning of when they're going to be online, and schedule your posts for these times. Now that we've looked at some behind the scenes of optimal posting times, where you can find some of your own analytics, what to look for, what to think about, and what some of the heavy hitters, the big companies, are saying about this and how they are so confused, I want to hit some of the tips that I hit in our YouTube videos. So if you watch them, this is your sign to move on. Ask us a question if we didn't cover something. And if you haven't watched those yet, let's dive in. I mentioned quality is more important than posting time, but I need you to also consider that the amount of people that you might hit by going at a time, let's say one of those darker purple times that we saw on the YouTube analytics versus one of the really light times, that difference might not be too much. Maybe from the lightest to the darkest, it's a decent amount, but like most of the day might not have a huge range. It might be just like 1% different people that you're going to hit. So if this is a burden, it's weighing on you, don't let it weigh too heavily, and just know that it's kind of a marginal difference as you're scheduling different times. I would recommend you do not schedule at the top of the hour, so don't schedule at 11 p.m. Well, you probably don't want to schedule at 11 p.m., but don't schedule at 10 a.m. exactly. I mean, we might have done that in this video, I'm not sure. Sometimes it does it by default, it's easier, but if you can remember to change that, that's a good practice because everyone is going to be posting at the top of the hour. People like us sometimes who forget to change it, and sometimes we change it, but not all the time. But any company, any scheduler that just says, oh, okay, here's my option, 10 o'clock. But you want to pick like, okay, 10:07 or maybe 9:52, just times around that time, so that you're not having your posts go live at the same exact time everybody else's do. And while of course you want to schedule when your audience is most engaged, you also want to consider not ghosting them if you can help it. So if you have the capability to engage with folks after your post and you want to make that part of your role on social media, I would recommend it. That means being considerate of when you're able to do that as you're scheduling your post. So you might make all of your posts for 10 a.m. or 10:07. But let's say you have a 10 to 11 o'clock meeting every single day. I'm sorry for you if that's the case, but if you did, maybe you don't want to post exactly then. Maybe you want to post just after your meeting, post before your meeting, so that if any comments come in, any questions come in, you can respond to them. You can engage with them. You can show people that this isn't just scheduled and then you're ghosting them, but that you're actually active and engaged. Now, if that stresses you out, as I said in the YouTube videos, do not let that be a burden on you. Forget it. You don't have to engage immediately with the comments. They will be there and that's okay. You can get to them when you get to them. But if you are able to kind of build that into your scheduling and into your plans as you're planning for this type of thing, I would recommend trying to be available to engage with folks as they comment. Two more things that I want to hit before we go. One, as you may already know, the best time to post can vary based on different platforms. So keep that in the back of your mind. If your TikTok followers are totally different than your Facebook followers, schedule at times that is best for the follower of that platform as you're able. Scheduling platforms make this a lot easier than trying to remember when to post on different platforms. And last but not least, don't forget you can repost your content. And so focus on quality, make the best posts possible and reuse them later at various times, testing different scheduled times out. That is okay to do. If you have more questions, as always, submit them right here in the hub.